And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will be talking about Umar Johnson's latest antics and videos, where he basically came out and stated that he's broke and he doesn't even have access to his bank account. And if you've been following me now for the past 7-8 years, I've been making videos about Umar Johnson, and I've been telling you that not only is this man a con man, but that he's a predator and he's a sexual deviant. And recently, one of his throat goats, not my words, his, came out and exposed him for the con man and a predator that he is. And it's amazing to me how so many of you come on here and you'll say things like, I'm a square, or, I'm not from the streets. I'm not a real one, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Yet, you can't see a junkie when it's right in front of your face. The so-called lame, the sidewalk guy, can see Umar Johnson is a junkie. And the reason why I have Chris Rock, when he played Pookie from New Jack City over here, and I have Tyrone Biggums, was the crackhead that Dave Chappelle played in the Chappelle Show, and I got a crack pipe here, is because there's no doubt in my mind that Umar Johnson is a junkie. And people keep saying, well, he doesn't wear nice clothes and he doesn't go on extravagant trips. So where's the money going? The money's going to his drug habit. See, Rick James told you cocaine is a hell of a drug. And when you go back and you watch the video, see, I'm going to remind you guys of these things because some of you are new. There was a video 7 years ago where Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed were going back and forth. And Tariq Nasheed said, is he on that narcotic? He said, is he on that narcotic, sniffing and blinking in a bunch of motels? See, if you were walking down the street and you saw a man dressed like the bum that Umar dresses like, hair all disheveled, sniffing and blinking, and he's yelling at his phone, because see, when he's going live, he's not educating or teaching you about anything. He's ranting and raving at a phone. You would say, that nigga's high. But because it's Umar, so many of you are, I guess he's charismatic to you in some type of way, or he's talking that pro-black, back to Africa, red, black, and green hotep shit, that somehow it gravitates and sucks you in. But that's part of the problem. See, if any ounce of you thinks that Umar Johnson is articulate, is intelligent, is a leader, it says a lot about who you are and what your value system is. Because see, while this man is talking about starting a school for black boys, and not just any black boys, but black boys who have behavioral issues and psychological issues, the same man's daughter is out in the street, homeless, having a mental health crisis, urinating in the street. And I know what some of you are going to say, Eli, people's children are off limits. How can his children be off limits when he's trying to take your children in and educate them? See, as I said before, if the B1 Back to Africa Pan-African Hotep Avengers, if the rhetoric that they're spewing doesn't work for them, then what the fuck makes you think it's going to work for you? If he can't liberate himself, if he can't educate his own daughter, if he can't psychologize, his words, not my words, he used the word psychologize, right? He said, you can't psychologize all of the boys on the street. We're going to have to put some of them to sleep for good. Well, if he can't psychologize his own daughter and help her recover, then what makes you think he's going to be able to get through to you and your kid? See, we have to start being realistic about, number one, what our value systems are. Why is it that Umar Johnson could even get to the heights that he was able to get to and then raise millions of dollars? And see, what makes this so devastating is that he's preying on the most vulnerable people in our community, single black mothers. And he tells you, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Well, now what we need to start saying to him, donations forever, FDMG is opening never. Donations forever, FDMG will open never. Donations forever. FDMG will open never. See, we're sitting here, we're watching this man go to women who are single mothers, who now they have their child who has a behavioral issue or may have a psychological or mental health issue, and he's going to try to act like he's going to save their kids and get them to donate money to him under the guise that he's going to help liberate them and educate them that they don't need no medication, they just need his teaching. And then, depending on how she looks or how she interacts with him, he'll then start a personal relationship with her, have sexual relations with her, sexually abuse and misuse her, and then extract more money out of her, and then turn around and when she exposes him, call him a maggot, call it a throat goat, say a box smells like fish. And now you got to ask yourself, you have Polite, Jay Morrison, Umar, Caesar, Big Business, DJ Envy. All of these people have come into the community and have taken resources out of the community. And I think about that opportunity cost on money. And see, people say, well, what's the point of this? What are you teaching? I'm teaching you how to think. You have to be able to see a con man for what the con man truly is, because you spent 7, 8, 9 years believing in this mythical school. And here we are now, and look at the condition that he's in as a man. Let's look at the video.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace. The fraudulent attempts on our account. If I find out Medea and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this, I was told that they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal. My personal PayPal account is Umar the Psychologist at yahoo.com. So that's PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist, PayPal.me.
You know, when I sit here and people say, what have you accomplished? What have you done for black people? This man is a so-called alpha male, and he's received millions of dollars in donations from black people and produced nothing tangible. And he's telling you that he doesn't even have access to his bank account, but somehow he's an alpha male. Well, let me tell you the difference between Pastor Bussy and Umar Johnson. Pastor Bussy has over $1 million in funding between businesses that I own and control and personal funding on the personal side. So guess what Pastor Bussy can do if the bank shuts down my bank account? I have Wells Fargo, I have Chase, I have Bank of America, I have credit cards. See, Pastor Bussy has gold coins, physical gold. This right here is a 1 ounce gold American Buffalo coin. This coin's worth about $3,200 per ounce. Pastor Bussy has silver, bars of physical assets. See, those hoteps, yo, back to Africa's, all of these guys who have all of this metaphysical knowledge from the ancestors, and they can tap into Ogun and what's another, Mama Oya, right? And they got their chakras all aligned. They have nothing. They're bums. They don't even own a vehicle. He's homeless. He's living with his mother. See, Pastor Bussy has something. Pastor Bussy can teach you something. Pastor Bussy can actually help you be something in life. See, I've been on this channel now 7 years. I have countless students who have actually made money, been educated. We trade the futures market. I have tons of clients I've gotten business funding for. I have clients that I've had fixed and repaired their credit. I've built something. I have over 5,700 investors and students and clients who have come through my doors, who have bettered themselves. Can you tell me one person that has benefited from Umar Johnson? The nigga doesn't even have a bank account. And people say, oh, you use these people for clout. You use these people to sell your stuff. Yes, because see, when you come over here and your credit begins with a 4, 5, and 6, we can assist you with getting that credit fixed and repaired. You got that business idea you need some funding for? We could go get you $100,000, $200,000 in funding. You want to learn how to trade the futures market? We could do that for you. You want to learn how to market and brand yourself and build things, tangible skills that matter. Knowing all these historical dates, what has it done for Umar? He's living in filth. He's messing with hood rats out of his own mouth. Has no access to a bank account. So for all of you alpha males that have listened to this rhetoric, what has it gotten you? Because Pastor Bussy's doing good over here. Pastor Bussy got assets. Pastor Bussy got a lot of assets. Just right here, silver coins. What Umar Johnson has to show for it? Nothing. Because see, all of your money went up in smoke. That's why we got Tyrone Biggums here. That's why we got Pookie from New Jack City here. And see, we all have had a family member like Umar, which is why it's so hard for many of you to accept him for the bum that he is. Because that means that you would have to accept your uncle. You know your uncle that's strung out. You know your aunt that's strung out. You know your sister, your brother that's hooked on that stuff. And they always, when they go to jail, they turn their names and all of a sudden they're a Muslim. They're more. They have all of this knowledge from the ancestors. They're working out there in shape. And as soon as they get out, they go right back to the block and they go back to getting high. And they come to you, yo, man, listen, all I need is a couple $100. It's the last hit. And then next week they come with the same story. They need another hit, right? And what hurts you the most about them is that you see that they could be better and do better, but they hooked on that shit. And that's what Umar Johnson is. Umar Johnson is hooked on that narcotic. And that's why Tariq Nasheed said it. And don't worry, I'm going to actually give you receipts, documentation to verify the things that I'm saying. Ashe, my brothers and sisters. When he said, I'll be getting high in my shrine, and he sniffed. When he starts sniffing and blinking. Because see, when I look at this right here.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan.
This looks like a nigga that been on a 3-day binge. This looks like a guy that has been on a 3-day binge, and he realizes, oh, whoa, rent about to be due. FDMG, the little bills they got needs to be due. Right? Needs to be due. That's what he's looking for. He's like, oh, I got to figure this out. I got to figure this out. Look, there goes some of my students right there in the chat. See, I am a product of my product. And my point is, when you see this here, what does this produce? What does it give you? How does it make you feel? How do you grow? What do you benefit from? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Look at the condition that he's in. Look at the condition that he's in. Let's listen to him.
On all FDMG Academy money order and check donations until the situation is resolved. If you want to make a donation to FDMG, send it through PayPal. Right? PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you want to make a donation to the school, hold off on checks and money orders until we find out what the hell is going on. The bank is investigating the fraudulent attempts on our account. If I find out Medea and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this, I was told that they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal.
See, this is where being financially literate comes into play, because there should never be a situation where you're competing against white supremacy. You're the most requested scholar in the world. Don't you think you should have access to other banking institutions because you're so polarizing? Don't you think you should have access to credit? But see, I guarantee you his credit scores probably suck. And this is why I emphasize to you guys, go get your credit right. It's 2025. There's no reason why you should have bad credit. It's too easy to get things deleted and removed. But see, this man doesn't live in the real world because he wants you to believe that using credit is using the white man system. Yet he's sitting on here asking you to PayPal him and Apple Pay your money through the white man system. You see how the logic doesn't even make sense? And if you're someone that right now you have a credit score in the 4, 5s, or 6s, I can assist you with getting those things deleted and removed. See, while I'm teaching you, I'm going to also provide you with resources and solutions. Now I know what you're saying. Oh, Eli, well, how do I know how to take your word for it? Don't take my word for it. Just listen to some of the testimonials, and then we're going to get into the presentation.
Hey, I wanted to take a second to give a huge shout out to Eli. Sign my mom up for credit repair with him because we had tried 3 or 4 other people. We've been working for over 2 years to try to get a couple of collections removed from her credit report, and literally no one was able to help us. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this and just kept getting no results. I found Eli, happened to run across his page on Instagram, and reached out to him, signed up. It's been less than 30 days, and both of those collections are off of her credit report. So I just want to, again, say thank you so much. And I definitely would highly recommend him and his team if you're looking for someone who can actually get the job done.
I've been working with Eli on my credit repair for the last couple months. And in just 2 weeks, he was able to get all the negative items deleted off of my Experian credit report. As you can see here, the negative items have all been deleted. So if you are in need of credit repair, I highly recommend Eli's services.
Hey guys, I started working with Eli probably about a month ago, and we started working on credit repair. I got all my documents done.
I could go on for hours about testimonials of students, of clients that have gotten their credit fixed and repaired. This is why I emphasize to you guys so much why it's important for you to get your credit fixed and repaired, so you're not like Umar Johnson and you're out here struggling, looking for your next hustle, your next come up. And if you want right now to get credit repair, there is a link in the description below. We are taking 50% off for the next 50 people. We're calling it a 50-50 sale. Simply click the link. The first 50 people get access to 50% off of our credit repair. If you want more information about our credit repair services, text the word credit to the number in the description below. Now, if you guys can hear me clearly, you can see me clearly, type 1 in the chat and we can get started, my people. Let's see some ones come through and we can get started. Perfect. So I want to share my screen real quick because we're making videos about Umar Johnson. Give me 1 second. Let's go here. And what we want to do is we want to pick the screen that we want to share. All right. And we want to go here. I believe it's the tertiary screen. Now, you can see 6 years ago, I was making videos about Umar Johnson. I have videos back here 5 years ago. I have this video here 5 years ago. And I have this video here 5 years ago. And what's amazing to me is this video right here sticks out to me so much right here because this video is 10 years old. And I'm going to show you the significance of this video being 10 years old because the same excuses that he's using today about his accounts being frozen and locked down is the same excuses he was using 10 years ago. So now when we come here and we actually come watch the video, I want you guys to see this and listen to this.
So we doing okay. PayPal sabotaged us, y'all. Let me tell you how PayPal sabotaged. I called PayPal before I started using PayPal for the school. fundraising. And I didn't want to use PayPal, but lazy Negroes kept talking about why I just can't make an online donation. Take your lazy ass to the post office and get a stamp. But anyway, they kept on bugging me, so I said, okay, let me do this PayPal. Now, I called PayPal first. I said, listen, I don't have tax exempt status yet. I won't have it to the end of the year. And I don't want y'all to freeze my account. If y'all going to freeze my account, I don't even want to start with PayPal. They told me you should be fine. Now, check this out. We raised $25,000, PayPal don't say nothing. We raised $50,000, PayPal don't say nothing. We raised $100,000, PayPal don't say nothing. So when I get to $125,000, they freeze my damn account. I called them. I said, listen, can I talk to somebody about this? Because y'all told me this would not happen. Y'all know it take a while to get that tax exempt status from the IRS. I told y'all we're going to have it by the end of the year. In the meantime, I got over 200 people who have an automatic deduction on PayPal. I didn't even know this. But every day, I'm seeing 25 payments skipped, payments skipped, payments skipped. These are automatic payments that our brothers and sisters set up through PayPal. Every day I'm seeing, I didn't even know people had that many automatic payments set up. So we're losing money because PayPal got the account froze. And going to keep it frozen. They're asking you about your money. Read that right. Okay.
This video is 10 years old. I just showed you the date of this video. So now, here we are, 10 years later, and he's still using the same excuse that PayPal shut his account down, that the banks shut his account down, that the coons shut his GoFundMe down, that now his bank accounts are frozen because of sabotage. It's always something with him. Remember, before it was the white attorney that didn't let him know that he needed 501c3 status, and that's why he had to pay extra money for the taxes on the school. See, there's always an excuse with this man. There's never any accountability with this man. And the sad thing about it is someone that's this disorganized, this dysfunctional, was somehow able to convince black people to give him millions of dollars. He was platformed by the largest platforms in the world. And now you got to ask yourself, why? You know why the powers that be want someone like this to parade around for 10 years? Because his ineffective leadership. Because the Hotepism, the back to Africa, the red, black, and green Hotep shit doesn't work for him in his life. So what makes you think it can work for you? But they will parade him out there because he's the perfect example of a failure. Ineffective leadership. And now we end up here now, 10 years later, and we end up with the same excuses now.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-African account. They have us. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th, only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that.
Notice he's rubbing his nose. Notice he keeps blinking. See, the homie was really the plug. See, he needed to get his fix. And he probably went to go Apple Pay the plug, his dealer, because he's a junkie. And when he went to go do that, he realized he couldn't access his bank account because he probably don't have any more money in that account anyway. So what really happened, right? The homie he's talking about is his dealer, right? And notice he keeps rubbing and playing with his nose.
This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th, only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that.
Rubbing that nose.
They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank, and the bank told me that
Notice, he never tells you the name of the bank. He never gives you any documentation to solidify and verify his stories. So when the archdiocese sabotaged him, he didn't say which particular archdiocese. When the contractors came to the school and ripped him off, he didn't say what contracting company. When the white attorney supposedly didn't tell him he needed 501c3 status, he didn't say who the attorney is. But notice that this man has an opinion about everything that you should be doing, who you should be dating, how you should be dating, how you should wear your hair. He has an opinion about everything, yet he never provides you with any documentation to verify or solidify any of the stories. We just believe Umar. Why? Why? Why should we believe you? What documentation and proof have you provided us? See, we as a people, we have to require more from a person who wants to be a leader. See, you want to be a leader because the way you're behaving, you're just like another nigga on the block. Talking about a throat goat and swallowing your Shango stick and you're over here sniffing and blinking. That's no different than the homie on the block. See, you want to be a leader of not just the people, but young black boys. Yet you only got one bank account. But yet you are somehow a leader. Please.
personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account. Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. If you have sent a check or money order donation to FDMG, let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was between June 25th, that's when Medea went public. That's when Medea went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. So y'all know my I believe Medea and Pastor Bussy were fraudulently trying to get into my account. And if we find out that's the case, they will be sued and possibly arrested.
Now, I want to build on this because let's say that you're an Umar Johnson supporter, a fan, a Umarian. This man wants you to believe, because a lot of you don't know the backstory, so let me fill you in. The throat goat, Medea, the lady who he was messing with, the 3 sessions, and don't worry, we're going to get to that video because there's so much to unpack here. He called her a hood rat, not my words, his words. So he has a Kansas City hood rat that he's messing with come over and take care of his mother while he decides to go out of the country. So now he has the people's money and the account information accessible to a woman who he believes to be a hood rat. I want you to see how irresponsible that is. Let's say that he's taking in millions of dollars of donations. Let's paint this hypothetical. He's taking in all of this money. He's holding the money to do right by the money. But he's so irresponsible that he leaves the account information to be accessible to a woman that he thinks is a hood rat. Do you think that that's a man that's actually responsible, that should be actually even be in control over that type of money? Wouldn't logic say to you that that doesn't make any sense? That just that alone should be enough for you to say, I'm done with him? Forget the way he treats his daughter. Forget the fact that it's been over 15 years. Forget the fact that it's excuse after excuse after excuse. The fact that this man could sit here and then, number one, have all of the school's resources in one account. See, I'm a businessman, a real businessman. I have multiple bank accounts. I have multiple business entities. I have my money spread out. I have physical assets like gold. I have physical assets like silver. I own cryptocurrency, right? Because I know that banks can confiscate your money, that banks can shut your account down. I know that the IRS can step in and for whatever reason conduct an audit on you and lock your funds up. So that's why you want to have alternatives and backups and resources. But see, when you look at this, this is an alpha male standing in front of you that has one bank account. Mind you, he already went through this 10 years ago with PayPal. So why is it that you're making the same mistake 10 years later, having your funds in one account? It doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. It's irresponsible to the highest degree. And this is a 54-year-old man. This is not a 30-year-old who's his first rodeo. But see, let me tell you what's really happening here. What's really happening here is the IRS has stepped into the chat. See, he's not going to tell you, but go and watch Pocket Watcher with JT's video, where JT exposed how he's taking in all of this donation money, but he's telling you he only got $80,000, $100,000 in donations. See, and then what he tries to do is he'll then basically go and switch and set up a whole new 501c3 charitable organization to get donations and not properly filing tax documentation. So that's what's happening to him. But he's going to try to spin it now like it's Pastor Bussy, like it's the hood rat. No, it's you. And then when they finally come and get him, when the feds come to get him, because I promise you, they're coming, he's going to spin it as his white supremacy. Well, if you knew, see, this is how you know Hotep logic don't even make sense. Because you're telling me you have all of this ancient knowledge, you can astral project, you're en route with your chakras, everything is aligned, right? You're in touch with the star, the moon, and you can do all of these things, Ashwa crazy and all this crazy shit. So you got all of this knowledge. You know all of this history. Why do you keep repeating the same patterns of the people who's come before you? Does it make any logical sense? And then the next thing I want to say to you, how is it possible that you're the most requested scholar? You have a team of people embarking on this project with you, yet you have to come to the people and ask them for donations to survive. You don't have no one on your board that you can ask for money or resources. You don't have any old colleagues that you can ask for resources. You don't have any investors, any donors that you could just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I'm having an issue. Can you help me out? You have to come to the people, random strangers online, because see, now you got to ask yourself, who is this man? Where has he come from? What's his background? See, no one ever asks these questions. Where do these so-called leaders come from? How all of a sudden they just pop up and they're popular and they're going viral? Why him? He has no one, his dad. He can't call his dad, his brother, his sister. Does he really have 6 degrees? Because if I had an issue, and I've been through this. See, I went through a situation with Chase Bank where they locked up over $400,000 of my money. $400,000 of my money, locked it up. And it took me months to get it back. So what he's saying is true, but they'll give you an exact reason. See, I was doing too many withdrawals from Coinbase to my Chase account, and Chase does not support crypto. So they wanted to know, why are you transferring so much money? So guess what you got to do? Contact an attorney and go through the process. But while that account was shut down, past the bussy, I have Wells Fargo, I have Bank of America, I have First Horizon, I have credit cards. So although one of my accounts was shut down, guess what I was able to do? Go and use my other bank accounts, because that's what businessmen and entrepreneurs do. They have resources. I was able to get on the phone and communicate with my people why my funds were locked up and when they would be out. That's what you do with your people. You don't then turn around and ask them for more money. You go find money somewhere else.
Because fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Again, June 25th to July 10th is the period of suspicious activity. That is from the time Medea went public and I left for South Africa. Between the time Medea went public and I went for South Africa. So brothers and sisters, if you want to make a donation to FDMG, you must send it to PayPal. Hold off on the checks and money orders until the situation is resolved. Hold off on all FDMG Academy money order and check donations until the situation is resolved. If you want to make a donation to FDMG, send it through PayPal. Right? PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy if you want.
Now, let's get to who Medea is. So the brother Storm did an interview with the lady Medea. Now, give me 1 second. This is the lady Medea that he's talking about. This is the throat goat that was servicing his Shango stick. These are not my words. These are his words. Shout out to the brother Storm. Go give the brother a follow. I know I'm using this content. I want to make sure I credit him. I want to get to certain points in this video because this is the woman Medea that he is saying allegedly was able to access this account fraudulently. Now, first things first, you got to say to yourself is, why would you have a random woman like this that you don't know in your home with your mother and you not being there? Think about this. You talk about white supremacy and COINTELPRO and agents. So why would you have this random woman that you don't know in your home? Now, I don't want to put the sister down. I don't want to disparage her, right? But if you'll let this woman in, then you'll let anything in. If you let this woman in your home with your mother, you'll let anything in there, right? Now, again, I'm not trying to put the sister down, but I've seen better in my days, okay? So if you'll let this woman in your home, man, you'll open up the floodgates for Sukiana, right? And if you're tricking off on this right here, then Lord knows what you've been doing with these people's money. Now, what I want to do is I want to get to the 19-minute mark because she talks about something very, very key here. So let's get to the 19-minute mark. Let me stop running my mouth. Right? Listen to what she has to say.
Yeah, he crashed out.
So why is his mother living in filth and got bed sores on her and all that?
Because he's a nasty motherfucker. There was only one sticky pussy between the two of us, and it wasn't me. He is just a nasty person. He's filthy. He's trifling. He's like a hamster. When I walked into the house, he was making excuses. When I was supposed to come, he put me in a hotel instead of telling me straight where the house is. He took me to, or had me go to the hotel. If I'm lying, I'm dying. The hotel people, you know, they'll.
Now she said that he's filthy. Now, let's go back in history, because history doesn't repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. So if we come here, I want you to look at how Umar's house was about 7 years ago, and if it lines up with what Medea is saying.
Man, I'm looking for strong alpha males. Okay? Strong alpha males. Send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes.
That's trash. That is worse than a hamster. At least hamsters are a little bit neat. That's Umar Johnson's house 7 years ago. Now, mind you, he's doing a live stream about being a strong alpha male while there's literally trash 6 feet behind the camera. That's like me doing a live stream right now talking about Umar, and I got at least 100 tons of garbage and filth on the other side. See, a lot of you don't understand the psychology here. That's a junkie. See, when I come here and I show you this, when I show you Tyrone Biggums and I show you Pookie with the crack stem, that's how crackheads live. That's how junkies live. And see, a lot of you try to tell me that you're not a street nigga. You ain't from the streets. You don't understand. You right. I walk on the sidewalks. Pastor Bussy is not a real nigga. Because you real niggas are filthy. You real niggas are junkies. You real niggas are Pookies and Tyrone Biggums. Living like, but a junkie was able to get $4 to $5 million out of black people. And many of you can't see a junkie for what a junkie is. Again, I use that analogy. We all got an honor uncle who, you know, they out there on that shit. And they'll come to you and they'll have the most elaborate stories. And they'll, oh man, I miss you, nephew. I can't wait to see you. Man, nephew, you ain't gonna believe what happened. So my man, right, he got 100 pounds that he's smuggling for the cartel that's tied to Donald Trump. And they got this new currency that they about to come out with called Zings. And my man gonna get first dibs on it. All you got to do is give me $250 and I'm gonna be able to give it to him and they're gonna put me on, nephew. And you know your uncle lying like a motherfucker, but you feel bad for him, so you give him the $250. But you know he on that shit. You know he's on that shit and he drugging and bugging. That's what Umar Johnson is. Umar Johnson is the junkie that has the potential, but now he's in his 50s. And he's been drugging and bugging with that money because cocaine is a hell of a drug. And that's where all of the money went. So when we look at this and we see how filthy he's living, how dirty he's living, it's not shocking to you that this is how a junkie lives.
Man, I'm looking for strong alpha males. Okay? Strong alpha males. Send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com is what we're looking for. My thing is y'all need to, what happened?
What happened, nigga, is you're filthy and you're nasty. And you're nasty. And you're disgusting. That's what happened. That's what happened. Now, that was 7 years ago. So now when we watch the interview that Medea, the throat goat, his words, not mine, that she did with Storm, doesn't it line up? See, you can fool the people some of the time, but you can't fool the people all the time. So now we're sitting here and we're seeing the pattern of behavior. Now, I want to play this video here because it's very, very telling.
Now, I had to stand trial. My mother always comes first. I was supposed to keynote the floor, care for my mother. Then she, personal was personal. So, after returning from Sweden, I was very disappointed in the care that my mother was given. After returning from Sweden, I was very disappointed in the care that my mother was given. I'm not going to go into detail over the egregious lack of regard and concern she displayed for my mother. I'm not going to go over that. That's too personal. But I was very disappointed. 5 total contacts. 3 of them were private. Brothers and sisters, without being too vulgar, those 3 private contacts basically consisted of her gummy bearing my Shango. She gummy bared the Shango. That's basically what she did.
I want to set the framing here. This is a man that is a leader in the Black community that is going to be the principal of the FDMG Academy. Your Black boys are supposed to look at him as a role model, as a leader, as a symbol of strength. And he's sitting in front of an abandoned building because that's not a school. And he's talking about a throat goat swallowing his Shango stick. I want to frame that for you. This is a 54-year-old man, by the way.
Was a jump off. Hood rat jump off. That's all it was. Fellatio. 3 fellatio sessions. I came to visit. She wanted to please the Prince of Pan-Africanism. So it happened. 3 fellatio sessions. I'm not proud to say that. And then, of course, quote unquote caregiver. I put caregiver in quotes because she did anything but care for my mother. Anyway, this was the first week of March, Sweden. I come back from Sweden. I'm disappointed. Can't work with this woman no more. Can't take care of my mother. I can't mess with you. I started to distance myself from her. On June the 25th, the last moon that we had, I do my Art of Dialogue interview. I'm coming out of my Art of Dialogue interview and my phone is blowing up. There's a woman on Pastor Bussy's page claiming that y'all was in a 2.5-year relationship, that you were in love with her, that you wanted to marry her, that you wanted her to have your child. You were in a 2.5-year relationship with her. You were in love with her. You wanted to marry her. You wanted her to have your child. You were...
Now, see, a liar tells the same lie over and over again, but just in a different variation. Because, see, the truth is consistent, but liars always slip up. What did he say about the child's mother? Isn't this story similar to what he said about the child's mother? That she wouldn't let him be in the life of the daughter because he wouldn't marry her. Now he's trying to use that same rhetoric and logic for the throat goat and Medea. His words, not mine. See, it's little subtle things. If you listen long enough, you'll hear what you need to hear. This is the same story that he tried to spin why he's not in his daughter's life. Because the mother was mad that he wouldn't marry her. And now he's using that same lie and story on the throat goat.
In a 2.5-year relationship with her, you wanted to marry her, you was in love with her, and you wanted her to be your wife. Brothers and sisters, I have women who look way better than her, who have done more for me in my life than she ever could, who I wasn't in love with, who I didn't want to make my wife, who I didn't want to have my baby. So this woman, this Kansas City thought, this Jezebel, this jump off, this smash and grab, spent 3 times with me, not 3 nights, because I never spent the night. I never spent a night with her in my life. I never spent a night with her in my life. I saw her 3 times. And 3 times, all of which, if I'm not mistaken, were during the first quarter of 2025. 3 times, and I'm in love with her. 3 times I want to marry her. 3 times I want her to have my baby. 3 times, and we were in a 2.5-year relationship. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. But it gets worse. She told Pastor Bussy. She told Pastor Bussy. And let me say this about Pastor Bussy. Rainbow Bunny. It's a job. Brothers and sisters. This woman told Pastor Bussy, the Rainbow Bunny, the YouTubian struggle streamer, she told Pastor Bussy that I went down on her. Brothers and sisters, I'm willing to take a lie detector test. Brothers and sisters, I'm willing to take a lie detector test. Brothers and sisters, I'm willing to take a lie detector test. When that woman, after gummy bearing my Shango stick, that woman took off her underwear, and I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, and I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy. I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy. I don't mean no disrespect to feminine energy. When she took her underwear off, brothers and sisters, she smelled like something crawled up inside of her and died. She smelled like an old fish tank. You ever smell a fish tank that somebody ain't cleaned in like 2 years? They got goldfish in there. They got all kind of fish. And it ain't been cleaned in years. That's what she smelled like when she took off the...
So let me get this straight. She smelled like a fish tank. She smelled so horrid, so bad, so foul, that you wouldn't put your face on it, but you'll stick your dick in it? Let me get my Umar Johnson on and repeat it for you 2 more times. She smelled so bad, algae, rotten meat, infected. You wouldn't put your mouth on it, but you'll stick your dick in it. Now, if you smell something funky and it's not good enough for you to lick it or eat it, why would you stick it? Wouldn't you be scared to stick it because you would think that she has something? So not only are you reckless with the donor's money, because see, I want to paint something for you. I want to paint a picture for you. Not only is he allowing this woman to be around his mother that he does not know, but then he's allowing this woman to be around his banking accounts and information. And then he's so reckless that is so funky, and she's a hood rat and a thought, he won't eat it, but he'll stick it raw. What type of decision making is that? And this is a 54-year-old man. But see, a lot of you are new. Exactly what he's doing to the throat goat and Medea is exactly what he did to the conscious stripper named Kim Ringold. See, history doesn't repeat itself, but it damn sure rhymes. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, who's Kim Ringold? Well, let's get to that footage.
Hey you guys, I'm back. Kind of rainy today, but it's still nice out. I did a video yesterday, and
this is the conscious stripper. This is the woman that had a head full of blonde hair. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you the pictures of her. Remember, he was supposed to be abstaining from sex. He was on a sex fast. Now, I'm not into people's personal lives. I don't care who you sleep with, if it's fishy, if it's funky. Listen, maybe it adds a little bit of flavor. Maybe you like your coochie flavorful. Maybe you like it a little, funky. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like a little musk to your stuff. Who knows? Maybe you like them sardines. I'm not here to knock you, right? What I'm here to show you is hypocrisy. What I'm here to highlight for you is foolishness to the highest degree, irresponsibility to the highest degree, and a pattern of behavior here. See, this is a sexual deviant because exactly what he's recently doing with the throat goat, and notice he said 3 times. That's exactly what he did with Kim Ringo 9 years ago, 8 years ago. Let's listen to her.
a lot of people are wondering why I didn't touch on. So I was not prepared for everything that followed. However, I've been dealing with it, the best that I can. The information, again, did not come out of a scorned woman, a jealous, hurtful, malicious. No, that's not what happened at all. What happened was exactly what I told you happened. I saw a fake and I pointed out a fake, and it was just that simple. Now this person has decided to turn this into a personal battle, and that's fine. That's their choice to do. They've decided to be vindictive and be malicious, but I'm here to let you know I'm not participating in that. I really have no feelings towards this person one way or another. I have no hatred, vindictiveness, it never even from the start. As I said before, and let me say this again, hopefully for the last time, okay? I decided to put this information out because it was very necessary. It needed to be done. People were being fooled and deceived, and I refuse to sit back and allow that to happen.
Now, notice she's talking about being fooled and deceived. A lot of you are not going to like this next clip, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to drive home a point for you. Oh, yeah, I'm about to go low. Pastor Bussy is about to go low. What makes this man so insidious, so horrid, so disrespectful, such a horrible person, such a disgusting human being, is while he's in that video talking about the throat goat in front of the school, his daughter allegedly has committed suicide at the time. Now, it's come out later that someone hacked her page or whatever the case may be. But I want you to understand something here. While he's out here having throat goat sessions, getting his Shango stick shined, his daughter is homeless, bouncing from place to place, urinating in the streets. Oh, you don't believe me? So let's get to that footage. This right here is Umar Johnson's daughter. I want to pause it real quick. That's Umar Johnson's daughter. While he's out here having throat goat sessions with all of these random women, his daughter's having a mental health crisis. Now, he is supposed to be a mental health professional that's going to liberate and save your black boys. He's supposed to be a leader. It's supposed to be black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Yet his daughter has a bleach bucket in her hand right now, and she's about to have to urinate outside in a bleach bucket, in a bottle of bleach. Watch it. That's an alpha male. That's his daughter. That's his daughter. Putting this type of stuff on live for the world to see. That's his daughter. While he's out here talking about the Shango stick, see, I want to get raw. I want you to dislike me. I want you to get upset at me because you should be just as upset at him for having his daughter in that condition. While he's sitting here, while he's on that live stream, his daughter's out here doing this. Think about this. He's supposed to be able to psychologize. This is not my word. This is his word. Don't get mad at me. She put that up. I didn't put that up. But she's doing that because she's crying for attention. And her father, who's the most requested scholar, King Kong consciousness, is online acting like a motherfucking fool. And see, Umar, I hope you watching Pastor Bussy's video. I hope you're watching this lame video. I hope you're watching this struggle YouTuber's video. You are a coward. You are less, you're not even worth, you're not a man, you're just a male. And there's nothing alpha about you. You are a weak little boy. And anyone that supports this man, you are a clown and you are a sucker. Again, I didn't put this up there. She did. I didn't put this up there. She did. That's his daughter urinating in a bleach bucket. And he's going to save your black boys? He's going to get your black boys and save them from the prison, the school pipeline, yet he can't save his own daughter from homelessness? He's calling his daughter Baby Smurf. See, now you got to ask yourself, a man that behaves like this while his daughter's going through this mental health crisis, is he really a mental health professional? Has he ever actually worked in the psychology field? Because see, people who actually are around this type of stuff, they wouldn't react that way. They wouldn't call their daughter Baby Smurf. I want you guys in the chat to comment. Would you allow your kid to be out here on the street like this and you a mental health professional? What would you do if that was your child? Because I know one thing I would do. I would be out there right now with my camera, the same way that she's trying to slander me and make me look bad. I'll be out there with my camera saying, look, I'm trying to get her help. Look, I'm trying to, because see, Umar doesn't realize how much of a force he could be for good if he actually stepped in and helped that girl's life and guided her in the right direction. You would garner so much support from people. So many people would want to work with you, and you'll show a lot of black men how to actually step in and bridge that gap in distance between the toxic mother and the toxic child. But instead of you helping your daughter, you out here acting just like a motherfucking Pookie would, and just like a Tyrone Biggums would. You're no different than a Pookie or a Ray Ray. So why did we give this man $4 million? Why? And see, Tariq Nasheed said it the best. Are you on that narcotic? See, if you go back here to this video here.
All right,
this is years ago. Listen to what Tariq Nasheed says, because it's very, very telling.
I gave you my little money. I ain't got that much money. Well, you ungrateful. You should be grateful to give your money to Papa. Papa? You what bullshit is that? The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Are you on narcotics? This nigga sounding like he on drugs right now. Straight up and down, this bitch nigga act like he on fucking drugs right now, my dude. He sounds insane. I'll beat you up. Let me call my imaginary goons. Goons. Oops. Somebody asks you where the money, you start screaming on people. What kind of bullshit is that? The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Are you on narcotics? This nigga sounding like he on drugs right now. Straight up and down, this bitch nigga act like he on.
And see, Tariq Nasheed said this This was like 7, 8 years ago. Because people know things. See, if you've been around, like many of you claim to be, you know when somebody on that shit and when they not. So people keep asking, well, he doesn't dress nice. His house is filthy. Where the money? It's going up that motherfucking nose. And it's going to hood rats. That's where your money's going. And yeah, he'll paint the school. He'll do certain things to go get his next fix. That's where the money's going. It's going to hood rats. And it's going to that narcotic. See, there was a video that he did in a hotel. This one I really knew.
Nice brown lashes.
Right? This video right here, this live stream. I want you guys to pay attention to, number one, I want you to pay attention to his face, how it starts twitching. And then he dips off and you hear a big sniffer. He go hit a line. Why are you on live? Now I know what you're saying. Eli, you're exaggerating. Pastor Bussy, you exaggerating. Well, listen to it.
Hair paradise, brown lashes. Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
Look at that twitching. I want you to look at the left side of his face. I want you to see the twitching. See, if you've been out, I've been around drugs my whole life. I know when a nigga drugging and bugging. I want you to pay attention to that little twitch right here. Pay attention to the cheek right there. Let's go back.
Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time.
Come on.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time.
Get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time.
That's that ooh-wee.
I'm coming. Let me
That's
get up.
that ooh-wee.
All right, take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
Now he go turn that heat down. See, you see the twitching, right? Now he about to go turn that heat down. See, listen to what happens after you go turn that heat down. Listen, this is very, very important.
Paradise brown lashes. Hair paradise brown lashes. Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
Chat, I need somebody to talk back to me. Does that not sound like he sniffed a good line? I need the chat to talk to me. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a good line that he sniffed. Is that yayo? Is that yayo? Now listen, I heard cocaine's a hell of a drug. I need you guys to put the 1 in the chat if you think that he on that Scarface diet. That he on that Colombian diet. Oh, the ones coming in. Oh my God, the ones are coming in. Woo-wee, one. Do you think turn that heat down mean turn your nose up? Is that perico? Right? Is that 2C? Is that cocaine is a hell of a drug? Let's go back. I know. So look, let's get to the twitching. Watch the twitching.
Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
That was a good
Baby
one.
was sleeping in the bed. Got
Heat down. Heat down.
And you heard that. Man. Now, the girl, the throat goat, said he came in one day sniffing and blinking and she thought that he was high. So when Tariq Nasheed says 7 years ago, are you on that narcotic? And then now we hear him in a hotel sniffing. We see him blinking. We see right? Get that cocaine jaw. It's safe to say, nigga, you've been drugging and bugging. You've been drugging and bugging. So now, when we get here,
Peace and pan.
this is after one of those binges. He was turning that heat down a lot. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his face. See, if you've been around long enough, you know what somebody looks like when they are drugging and bugging. And he's probably been turning that heat down a lot. Because, see, cocaine is not cheap. And it's a hell of a drug that costs a lot of money. I've been around drugs my whole life, people. I know when a nigga's drugging and bugging. So when he comes here, he probably fresh off the bench right out the hotel, right? So when he goes, I tried to hit my homie up. The homie is his dealer. He probably was trying to go get him another 8-ball, right? Or another 3 grams, right? And when he went to go send the money through Cash App, the homie that he says in the video, that's really the dealer. Let's listen to it.
That I've been with since I was a teenager told me, check my balance, because St. Louis, Kansas City Africans, it's your big brother King Kong. I need y'all to listen up. I got a very important announcement. I'm only going to keep you a few minutes. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars.
The homie's the dealer. So he's in the hotel. Homie like, yo, listen, you need some more coke? You know, he like, listen, yeah, let me check my balance. And he go to check his balance, and that's when he realized he ain't got no more money, right? Just so we clear.
This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th. Only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account. Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation would conclude.
If they can't find your account, then how were they able to give you information about your account? If they couldn't locate your account first, when you gave them the 16 digits, how were they then able to then tell you about the account that they couldn't locate? See, and again, when you deal with crackheads and drug addicts and people who abuse it, listen, I'm all for a good time. Turn up, have a great time, but don't do it with the people's money. You want to mess with throat coats on the side, have at it. Listen, champagne, I love a party. You heard? I love a good time. But you're a 54-year-old man that's trying to be a principal and a leader. We expect more from you because you want to be more. So you should be more. And this story sounds like some shit that one of my junkie family members would say to me. Man, nephew, you're not going to believe what happened, man. They shut my account down. And then when I called them, they couldn't even locate my account. Then they told me my account is under review for fraudulent activity, but you just told me they can't find your account. right? So which one is it? Can they not find your account? Or your account's under investigation?
Will conclude. If you have sent a check or money order donation to FDMG, let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was between June 25th, that's when Medea went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. We find out what the hell is going on. The bank is investigating the fraudulent attempts on our account. If I find out Medea and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this, I was told that they can be arrested for federal offense. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay.
See, this is why I say before, and I like to repeat myself because the truth is consistent and people come in at different times. Pastor Bussy, right? Clowns. I have multiple credit cards, multiple bank accounts. This is over $1 million in funding right there through credit. And see, if my accounts get shut down, I could just run some money through my merchant account and run my credit cards and get access to some capital. And more importantly, as I said earlier, the fact that he can't call one of his colleagues, his board members, remember, he has a 501c3. You're telling me he can't call one of the board members that sits on the charitable organization and ask them for capital? You mean to tell me that this man at 54 doesn't have a credit card? You mean to tell me that this man doesn't have other assets and capital somewhere else that he can access? See, Pastor Bussy, I got gold bars. I could take this right to the bullion dealer, get about $600. I could go take this right here. This is the 1 ounce American Buffalo coin. I could go get $3,300 for this. I got a gold Bitcoin, 1 ounce coin. Could go get $3,300 for this. I got rounds of silver and gold. I got probably about $50,000 of precious metals right here. See, when you listen to Pastor Bussy can give you tangible things. This man is sitting in a car after getting over $4 million, and he's telling you that he only has one bank account and one account for the school, and that the hood rat, Medea, was able to access it. So not only is he irresponsible, but he's not financially responsible. But see, Umar's credit score is probably a 400. You're listening to a man that you have more than. How can he educate you and liberate you when he can't even liberate himself? This is a joke. And people say, well, what are you doing for the black community? How are you helping black people? I've had over 5,000 people come through my tech academy. I've had over 5,000 students get educated by me. I had a trader futures market. I've had well over 1,000 credit repair clients and funding clients come through my tech academy and get funding for their business and fix and repair their credit. I've impacted the black community. See, outside of all of the jokes and the antics and the Pastor Bussy and the rainbow this and this and that, what impact has he really made? Where are the students at? Where are the testimonials at? Where are the people who can say, I was educated by Umar Johnson and I was empowered and I went on to go get a degree and do this. Or he reversed my mental health issues that I've had. Or he took me out. He can't even take his daughter out the street and she's urinating in the street. See, I got testimonials of people who I've impacted, who I've helped in the real world. And see, for those of you who try to tell me, well, shit, you don't need credit. That's just the white man's enslavement. You don't need no debt. But he's using the white man's internet, the white man's phone, sitting in a white man's car, asking you to send money through the white man's banking system, Apple Pay, and PayPal. Right? Asking you to send him money through the PayPal, through the Apple Pay. See, the Hotep logic doesn't even make any sense. And for those of you wondering, well, Eli, show us your testimonials. Show us what you've done. Where's your, because see, that's what the Umar supporters love to say. Who have you helped? Umar Johnson trying to build a school. First of all, he has no school. He has abandoned buildings. Umar Johnson can't even pick the right woman to have a baby with. Umar Johnson can't even pick the right jump off and thought. What has he done right? The thoughts he picked got fishy coochie. The baby mamas he picked are crazy. The school he picked was abandoned and ran down. What can he pick right? What has he done? Umar Johnson is a failure at this thing that we call life. The only thing Umar Johnson is popular for and will go down for is running his goddamn mouth. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, Eli, show us what you've done. No problem. I'll show you what I've done.
Hey, I wanted to take a second to give a huge shout out to Eli. Sign my mom up for credit repair with him because we had tried 3 or 4 other people. We've been working for over 2 years to try to get a couple of collections removed from her credit report, and literally no one was able to help us. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this and just kept getting no results. I found Eli, happened to run across his page on Instagram and reached out to him, signed up. It's been less than 30 days and both of those collections are off of her credit report. So I just want to again say thank you so much. And I definitely would highly recommend him and his team if you're looking for someone who can actually get the job done.
I've been working with Eli on my credit repair for the last couple months. And in just 2 weeks, he was able to get all the negative items deleted off of my Experian credit report. As you can see here, the negative items have all been deleted. So if you are in need of credit repair, I highly recommend Eli's services.
Hey guys, I started working with Eli probably about a month ago, and we started working on credit repair.
I love those of you in the comments right now saying, I don't trust you either. I don't want you to trust me. See, whether you like me or not, whether you respect me or not, it's all about delivering results. See, I know that I'm not for everyone. Not everyone's going to have a good experience with me, but I've had thousands of people come into contact with me and thousands of people have had a good experience. And Umar Johnson has had thousands of people come into contact with him and they've had a bad experience. You don't got to trust me. You don't got to. See, I don't want you to trust me. I will show you. See, I have assets. I have funding. I have wealth. I have things. I have students. You could go through all of my shorts on my page. I have a body of work. I have a 7-year body of work on this YouTube channel alone of results, of testimonials, of success. I've made impact. I don't have to try to get you to trust me because it's all about delivering. I don't want you to trust me. I want to deliver the things that I say I can deliver. Because see, when you look back, it's 7 years. Those of you who donated to that school, your children are in college now. Your children are graduating college now. I want you to think about the opportunity cost on the money that was sunken into the school and what you could have done with all of that money. Because see, when you take money and you park that money somewhere and that money doesn't perform and it could have performed better somewhere else, think about the amount of wealth that the Black community missed out on. See, I was telling you buy Bitcoin at $3,000. I was telling you buy Ethereum at $40. See, you could go through my page and see the body of work. So you don't got to trust me. I don't want your trust. Because when I'm doing business, business is not about feelings. It's not about trust. It's about results. Can you get them or can you not? And if your credit score begins with a 4, 5, or 6, I could get you some results. Because see, now with credit, you could go make some things happen. See, if Umar Johnson actually listened to Pastor Bussy, he could have took those millions of dollars and leveraged it into something and had a business running money to the 501c3. But see, Umar Johnson's ego was too big. It wasn't about the children. It wasn't about the community. It was about him and his ego. The brother Q Butter, he got a school. You know what Umar Johnson did? Clowned it. Oh, that's in somebody's house. That's in someone's basement. Well, guess what? It may be in a house. It may be in the basement, but black children are being educated. The guy, King Randall, started the school in a matter of 2 years, a year. Black children are being educated. See, we don't want your trust because we're going to do results, whether you trust me or not. We're going to get those results. See, it's about moving people forward in the right direction. There will always be setbacks. There will always be problems. No business deal, no business transaction, no vision is ever perfect. But it don't take no goddamn 15 years to build no school. And you're damn sure if you've had this many shortcomings and setbacks, you would stop. Nobody's perfect. No leader is perfect. No human being on this earth is perfect. So I don't trust no one. But I expect you to deliver that product or that service like you're supposed to in a timely fashion and manner. It does not take 15 years to build no school. This man has received millions of dollars and he has nothing to show for it. He doesn't even have a bank account yet. Imagine the amount of business funding he could have gotten for that. Imagine the grants that he could have gotten for that. But I know this is a pro-black school with only black dollars. Well, is it about the ego and the vanity of being all black dollars? How long are you going to embark on trying to get all black dollars and keep failing at it? That's not smart to keep failing at something and keep doing it over and over again. Do you know the amount of capital this man could have gotten with $4 million? Do you know the amount of leverage and loans he could have gotten with that capital to be able to go build the school and show proof of concept? Could you imagine if he did an online academy or online school? But see, here's the reality. He can't do those things because he's too busy getting high and hanging out with throat goats. That's why, and living in a filthy house like a junkie. So this is why none of the things that I'm saying will ever happen, which is part of the problem. Because see, you're looking to trust someone. I don't want to trust you. I want you to show me. I want you to give me detailed proof and show me that you can do these things. Squandered opportunities, squandered wealth, squandered resources, resources that we don't have. And now he's on here panhandling and begging people. So I don't want you to trust me. I'll show you. And guess what? For the next 50 people, we taking off 50% off our credit repair services. The link's in the description below. And you can text the word credit to get on my list and I'll send you more information and send you more testimonials. See, that's the difference between me and these other clowns. Is I'm all about getting people results. I'm all about empowering you with information so that you can be better for you and your family. Because knowing about Mama Ogun and Oshun and Mama Oya and tapping in with the Orishas and the Obusums and all of that foolishness does nothing for you because it can't do nothing for Umar. Do you know how much of a failure you have to be to touch $4 million and you have nothing to show for but a bunch of abandoned buildings? This is a joke. It's a joke. And many of you who wasted 10 years believing in this, what you could have done with yourself in 10 years, what that credit could have looked like, how much funding could you have had, what businesses could you have started, what community outreaches and organizations and things you could have built at home by leveraging capital. But you listened to this man and said, no, don't use no bank money, but then goes to put your money in the bank. The people, remember, Melissa, I believe her name was Melissa Lloyd, the lady with Boyce Watkins, was asking Umar, where would this money be going? Are you earning a yield on the donation money? Because see, if you got $4 million, $2 million, and it's sitting in an account, are you earning interest on that? Are you earning a yield? Because inflation is going to erode away the purchasing power of the money you have. See, if you just got $4 million sitting somewhere, well, you need to be getting a yield on that money that's sitting in a bank account. But see, no one asked Umar Johnson these questions, none of his donors, his followers. And when people did, like Melissa Lloyd, she got pushed out. That's how we knew. Those of us who are real professionals who do business at a high level, we knew this was bullshit and doomed to fail from the beginning because it had no structure, no organization to begin with. It doesn't take this long to build a school. And see, this is why Umar Johnson is a predator. And it's something that the throat goat lady said, and I want to get to that right now, because she talked about him being a predator, because he's preying on the most vulnerable people in our community. See, Umar Johnson could never scam me or people who follow me or people who's intelligent, right? Umar Johnson can only feed on people who are emotionally abused and they're looking for hope because they got that boy that has that mental health issue, that behavioral issue, and they're hoping that somebody can do something for him. And he comes there with a solution, but it's really just a guise to get her draws and get her money. And the throat goat lady highlighted this. Umar Johnson is a sexual deviant and a predator. And I'll play it right now so you can listen to her say it out of her own mouth.
So, come in, he have his mom. He's out of control.
Wait a minute. Was he coercing women to get abortions?
Umar does not want kids. He's taking the condom off when he's hitting it. Nobody knows that you're back there taking a fucking condom off. We're not squeezing.
That's the throat goat. That's Medea.
So hard that it's slipping off. He's doing what he does. He's a predator. All he thinks about is sex.
All he thinks about is sex. This is her saying this. And I'm going to play a clip for you to highlight that.
When we were together, the way for me to get him back and coming to is sex. That man has more damn pictures of my body than my mother when I was a child. But that's his thing. I thought we just clicked on the sexual tone. But it's not only me, and I know I'm talking to you every damn day. You talking to other multiple women, all these fucking pictures. Umar's a problem. Then the issue comes, he's starting to groom lower. He wants I think a younger girl. He wanted, I think, me with a younger girl. The two wife thing, do not get confused. He wants y'all together. He wants y'all together.
Oh.
Yeah. That's his shit. He didn't get it from me, but he wants two women and he wants them together. And I
don't like to disparage people, but what does that say about Umar if these are the type of women that he chooses to lay down with at 50? Listen, man. Your boy Champagne E in his days, I've done some things with some creatures that don't look too good. Back in my younger days, I've messed with some creatures, right? I've messed with a few creatures. Not at 50. Not at 50. Not at 54, brother. You should not be with these type of women at 50, man. Not at 50. Not at 54. Not at 54. Maybe 17, you got a couple of creatures, lot lizards, snakes, possums, right? Right? Listen, we got, you got a couple of lizard looking chicks, listen, I've messed with a few negative twos, right? Not at 50. Not at 54. Not when you're the most requested speaker. You don't end up with that at 54. You know what I'm saying? You don't end up with a couple of scorpions, couple pigeons. I've messed with a few animals, right? Listen, we let's keep it real here, right? Not at 54. Now, what makes him a predator is that Umar has a lot of videos like this that have gone viral, right? And
then 2 days later,
these videos are when he's talking and he goes, "We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused." And see, it's funny if you just come across the clip, but in context, this is the 54-year-old man that is so compelled sexually that he can't even control himself while he's on a live. See, you got to think about the mentality of that you're that turned on that you even zone out while you're live.
Later on October the 19th, 2 days later on October 19th. How you doing, beautiful? Good to see Dr. Umar. Okay. Yes, ma'am. All righty yourself. Good to see you, Queen. You too now. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
See, I know a lot of you think that that's funny, but I just want you to understand, all men look at women. That's normal, right? But the nature and the mentality of it, that he can't control himself while he's on live. And there's countless videos of him doing this. And so when she says that he's a predator, right? Like, I want you to understand the nature of the mindset at a man at 54 doesn't understand that I'm a principal. I'm a black leader. That I shouldn't be doing this type of stuff on camera. Because we just watched what happened with Diddy and Cassie, Shannon Sharp and the girl he was with, Bill Cosby, right? We see what happens to men who are promiscuous. And yet, he's sitting here and he's showing himself in a context that's predatory. That's predatory. Excuse me. That's predatory. And you don't see the problem with that at 54, to be doing that and documenting it on your phone. You can't control yourself while you're, think about it. The ass is that good that you can't focus on the message. So that tells me that you won't be able to focus in private and in your own personal life.
And then 2 days later on October the 19th, 2 days later on October 19th. How you doing, beautiful? Good to see Dr. Umar. Okay. Yes, ma'am. All righty yourself. Good to see you, Queen. You too now. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
And again, guys, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with looking at a woman. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with talking to a woman. What I'm saying to you is that as a principal that is trying to operate a school for black boys, trying to motivate and lead boys, how is it possible that you could be giving a message about liberating, about educating, about empowering, and ask and get you distracted? That if it can distract you while you're live and teaching, then I know it distracts you in your own personal life, which means that you're undisciplined and you're not the right guy to be a leader. It's okay to be Pookie and Ray Ray on the block, but you're not in position to be a leader behaving that way, thinking that way, operating that way. That's my point. And I know a lot of you are going to try to twist it and spin it, but the reality is that we now know that this man is very, very not clean and unwell in the way he lives, just filthy. Now we know from the video that we seen years ago, this video right here, where we come here about his house being filthy, if I could find it. That's his daughter. We went through that already. Give me 1 second if I could find the video. There we go.
I'm looking for strong alpha males. Okay? Strong alpha males. Send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. MG resumes at gmail.
That's proof right there that he's very unwell, unkept. That's filthy. See, just think about the fact that he's even living in those conditions like that while live streaming. See, it goes to show you just how unserious he is. He can't control himself from looking at women while he's live. He can't clean his home while he's live. So what makes you think that this man has a curriculum? Where's the curriculum at for the school? Where's the banking records and details at for the school? Where's the EIN and the actual the articles of organization and all of the documents for the corporation? Like, just imagine how unorganized and all over the place the resumes are for people's information and some filth like that. And people say, well, how do you know he's on drugs? What does that look like to you? What sane person lives in conditions like that? That looks like a crack house. That looks like a trap house. And when you see videos, why do you think he's always in the hotel? Lashes. See, ask yourself this question. Why is he always in the hotel? Because Umar Johnson doesn't have a place to stay. He stays with his mother. And see, he doesn't stay in his home because it's filthy. And the lady spoke about that in the video. I just don't want to play all of that because we could be here for hours. But she spoke about how that's why he always wanted to go to the hotel with her, because he knew his home was filthy. And this is what he's doing in a hotel, going live. And this is why he always talks about consciousness over cookies, business before back shots, politics over punani, because he's projecting and signaling. He's trying to lure in a certain person. So he's throwing that out there to see if you'll bite. So when he stares at the woman as she's walking by, he wants to see if she's going to turn around and come back and engage him. When he's on his live stream and he's talking about these, Queen, don't send me no pictures. Y'all be sending some don't text nothing flirty. He's saying that because he wants to see who will do that. It's called projecting. He's projecting because he wants that type of attention from you. And he's throwing that signal out there to see who's actually going to come and do that. Now, somebody just asked in the comment section, well, how do we know that he's on drugs? Well, let's watch this video. And you tell me what you think this is.
Hair paradise, brown, lack.
I want you to watch the left side of his face. I want you to watch his cheeks and how they start twitching and moving. And you tell me what this looks like.
Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your.
I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time. Take your time. Let me turn this heat down. Heat down. Heat down.
You tell me what you think that sounds like. You tell me what you think that sounds like. Right? You tell me what you think that looks like and sounds like. And remember, the throat goat said that he's using drugs. So when we see this type of behavior and we see the conditions that he lives in, and we see the fact that he only has one bank account, supposedly, this is the behavior of Tyrone Biggums and a Pookie. So don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. This is what it is. And I was making these videos about Umar Johnson 6 years ago, telling you that this would happen. Telling you, I was the first person I think I was like the third person to show that video of Umar Johnson's house when it first happened on this channel. 6 years ago. I was the first one. I was the first person to live stream and ask, does this man have a problem? And everyone called me a coon, a hater. I was jealous. I was a sellout. I was COINTELPRO. Now look, all of the things that I predicted about Dame Dash, about Jay Morrison, are all coming true about Umar Johnson. And here we are now, millions of dollars squandered in potential wealth out of the black community. He's dogged out so many black women. His daughter's out here having a midlife crisis, and he's over here talking about throat goats. She's urinating in buckets. But yet he's supposed to liberate and save your children. He can't liberate himself. I know I said I would stop making videos about him, but it's It's so much that you can't stop. Now I want to get to some of the super chats. I know that a few people gave some super chats. The brother Yellow Man, let me move this over here so I can see because the light is almost blinding me. Yellow Man donated $5, long-time subscriber, but I think he's completely broke at this point. Absolutely. I 100% believe that Umar Johnson is broke at this point. I believe that he's blown through all of that money, and the money's just not coming in now because people have woken up. You know, me and Tony was talking about this the other day, that people like myself and JT and Lennon Honor and Tony, etc., people who have been like exposing and covering a lot of this stuff, we've made it cool now for other people to do the same thing. Because before, I'm not going to tear a black brother down, I'm not going to do this. But now people are starting to see, nah, the shit that these people are saying is true. And more people are coming forward and speaking out. And I'm telling you, his account is frozen for two reasons. Either he just overdrew the account and he has no money in it, or I believe that the IRS is getting involved and the feds are getting involved. And I would not be shocked and surprised that within the next 6 months, this man is either arrested or an investigation's opened up about him, because he's gotten over on too many people. And behind the scenes, you know, he's really dogged out a lot of black women and finessed them out of their money and their body. Dame Dash is back. Dame Dash says, you really need to keep my name out your mouth, Eli, or your jaw will pay the price. Dame, your jaw's already paid the price. You probably have 4 teeth left in your mouth. 4 teeth left in your mouth. The only person's mouth and jaw you should be concerned about is yours. Get that rotten ass mouth of yours fixed before you come on here and start talking foolishness. KW Dadon says, Umar blocked me on Instagram for mentioning that it has been 6 years since taking possession of those buildings with no certificate of occupancy. Of course, he will do that because, see, Tone Talks did something very, very amazing with Jay Morrison. When he questioned the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, he gave him a platform to come and answer questions that people were asking, and he wouldn't do it. See, if you truly were about the people, we all can fall on hard times. Things happen. It's business. You think every business transaction I'm a part of is smooth? You don't think that I've done business with people who they feel like they got scammed or they got cheated? But it's how you make things right. Okay, your timeline was 2 years. Maybe it takes 3. Your timeline 6 months. Maybe it takes 9. Maybe the people may be upset that you're taking too long. It happens. I've had clients, we were supposed to be done in 2 months. It ends up taking 6 months. Some of them want a refund. You give them a refund. Other people, you get the job done however it is. But my point is, you have to have a reasonable timeline when you are engaging in taking people's money for a project. You can't tell me it's been 6 years now and you don't have a certificate of occupancy. You don't have a roadmap for how long is it going to take to get the school open. It doesn't take that long. It just doesn't. It doesn't take that long. Okay, let's say it took you an extra year. Cool. Some people may be upset. Some people may question you. Long as you get it done. Because then you can rub it in their face. But you're nowhere close to getting it done. You're in a car asking for money. You don't even have money for yourself. So you damn sure don't have the money for the school. Even the worst student makes money with the knowledge you teach and help me get funding. Yep. That's one of my students right there. Shout out to my brother Eric. He actually got funding. We helped him get funding. And he is actually, well, he was one of my worst students, but he's trading much better now. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you. We on lock. Nation, congratulations. I hope he sues you too. I hope so too. Because let me explain something. First of all, you need money to sue somebody, right? We on lock. You need a bank account. You need one of these, we on lock. You need a debit card or a credit card, right? You need a bank account to sue somebody. He doesn't even have money to feed himself or take care of his mother. So how on God's green earth could he sue me? Because a lawsuit is very, very pricey and lengthy. Then we on lock. There is something known as a discovery, right? That we would have to then, the things that I'm saying, my attorney would want to actually get some discovery and look into the matters and the things that I'm saying, right? So I'm pretty confident in the things that I'm alleging and the things that I'm saying, and I stand on them 100%. Not even allegedly. I stand on all of the things I've said. I'm very, very confident. right? So I would love to go to court with Umar Johnson because number one, I know he's broke. See, a man, you have to actually have resources to go to court. And I mean, he can't even take care of his mother, yet alone himself. He can't even clean his house. He can't even provide a place for his daughter to stay. I think Umar Johnson has more important things to worry about than trying to sue me. But this is one of Umar Johnson's supporters, and this is the type of mindset that they have. That somehow Umar Johnson's in position to sue me, yet Umar Johnson barely can pay his child support. Make it make sense. Xavier says, do you think XLM is better than XRP? Absolutely. I think almost all of the cryptocurrencies in the top 20 are better than XRP. XRP is useless. It's garbage. It's really like a meme coin in my opinion. I think Pastor B is referring to Lyndon Honor. Of course it's referring to Lyndon Honor. But people keep asking if I'm Pastor Bussy, so I run with it. Why not? We know who Pastor Bussy is. Pastor Bussy is Lyndon Honor from Utah. I'm not from Utah. I live in New York City, right? So obviously I know that I'm not Pastor Bussy. But since people want to ask if I'm Pastor Bussy and make fun of it, then I'll just run with it as well too. But shouts out to Lyndon Honor. Graham Stephan said he lost $1 million. Yeah, I've lost millions of dollars too. When Telcoin dropped from 3 cents all the way down to 3/100 of a penny, shit, I lost millions of dollars. It happens. It's business, right? You will lose money. You will have, I tell my students, you'll have losing days, losing weeks, losing months, losing quarters. It is business. And see, that's the difference between investing in something versus donating to something. You're donating because a person is facilitating a service for some need, some charity, some cause. When I'm investing, I know my entire investment could go to zero. When I put my money into something, I know it can go to zero. And I know that it takes time for my investment to perform. Now, if you don't know that, then that's just on you. But of course, you can lose money in investing. You know how many investments and things I've picked that absolutely went to shit and went to zero? Man, I never forget, I put over like $120,000 into this coin called Substratum and gave back all my gains. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten burned in different schemes and scams. It happens. It is business. It's cool. You have to know that and accept that. Respect to you, Eli. Thanks for the donation, Grove Dwayne from Virginia Beach. I'm not sure if Umar is on drugs or he has a messiah complex that is finally breaking him apart mentally. I believe it's both. I believe it's the ego and I believe it's the drugs. And also I believe that we're entering a realm where you have to have skills. You actually have to, people are requiring that you have things to actually offer them now. People are tired of rhetoric, empty rhetoric. Like I said, people want their credit fixed. They want business funding. They want business ideas. They want to buy real estate. They want to start charitable organizations. People want to do shit. Many people in the black community are tired of this rhetoric and this talking and this Oshun and Ogun and people are tired of that shit. Their ancestors. People want tangible things right now. The economy is tight. The economy is bad, but things are starting to open up. You're seeing that now with the crypto market taking off, stock market being at all-time highs. People are looking for opportunity. They're walking away from all of this pro-black rhetoric because you follow these people for 5 years and what has he produced tangible that people can say, I went to this seminar and I was able to cure this illness. I was able to help my son behave better. My son was able to go to college. My son was able to get a scholarship. Like, what tangible things have come from all of the money that this man has received? Nothing but an abandoned building and a couple of bullshit ass events at the school. Nothing tangible. So people are looking for more tangible things. But appreciate the donation. Raimi says, gave me a $5 donation. Appreciate you, Eli. I appreciate you too, brother. That's one of my students as well. So that's great right there. Let's look and see here. You Know Me says, I've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin over the years. Give me 1 second. So let's go back here. I'm on while reading it over. I can read here. Damn, we got a lot of comments. Whoa. So I can't see who the person is. You Know Me. There we go. Eli, I've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin and Ethereum for the past 4 years. I plan to continue. Thoughts? So anytime you are investing, and I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not take this as financial advice. This is just me speaking from my perspective for educational purposes only. Have to clarify that. Whenever I'm investing, I want to have a portfolio, right? And it's called personal finance for a reason. Everyone's personal financial situation is different. So if you're someone that has couple $1,000s to invest. The best investment you're ever going to make is investing in yourself. Why? Because by investing in yourself, getting your credit right, getting you some funding, now you're going to have capital to play with to make multiple investments. Because if I got 20 or 30 or $40,000, I'm going to break it up where half my money is going to go into the blue chips, the top projects, the Ethereums, the Bitcoins, the Chainlinks, etc. And then the other, let's say 5,000, maybe I do a 70-30 split. 3,000 into the top 10, $7,000 goes into altcoins, like the lower cap altcoins, because the lower cap coins are always going to give you a better return than a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is more for portfolio stability, right? I don't want a lot of volatility. I don't want a lot of up and down movement. I really just want to have my money in something stable. That's for the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then let's say the other 70%, if you're aggressive, you can focus on putting that into coins like Quant, DAG, HBAR, Telcoin, Akash, Render, Tau, Nakamoto Games, Beam Finance, you name it. Or you could do a 50-50 split, 50% into, more stable projects and the other 50% into more volatile projects, right? It's really up to capital allocation. So you want a dollar cost average into the top, but then you also want to have some capital into some of the smaller cap coins, because if Telcoin goes from $400 million to $4 billion, that's 10 times on your money. It's going to take you for you to 10x your money in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has to hit what? Let's look at the market cap. I believe like $20 trillion right now. What is Bitcoin at? Like a $2 trillion market cap? Give me 1 second. If we come here, boom, and let's share my screen. I believe Bitcoin is at boom. As we speak, Bitcoin's at 2.3. So for you to 10x your money, you need Bitcoin to get to $23 trillion. Like, that's like, what does the world look like if we have a $23 trillion Bitcoin, right? Like, so can Bitcoin get there eventually? Yes. But what does the world look like getting there, right? That's a huge, lofty goal. Whereas if you come and look at something like Telcoin, and where is Telcoin? Boom. If you look at Telcoin's market cap right now is $543 million. So you can 10x your money by Telcoin just getting to $5 billion. Bitcoin's worth $2 trillion. Like, that's insane. Like when you think about how large Bitcoin is, it's insane. Right? So, like that's huge. That's huge. Like it's just, you have way more potential in these lower cap coins. Like it's more realistic for Telcoin to get to 5 billion than for Bitcoin to get to, let's say, $10 trillion, right? So it's just a numbers game. So I'm all for obviously investing in the larger caps, but then like you also got to look for capital appreciation. So someone says Bitcoin doesn't make sense, just like NFTs. You can't pay your electric bill with it. That's just not true. You absolutely can pay bills with your crypto. There are plenty of crypto debit cards where you can actually absolutely pay your bills with, like MasterCard has a card as well. I know Coinbase has a card, so that's just not true. You can use crypto just like you can use any other currency. And also understand that you should not be using your Bitcoin like a currency, because Bitcoin is designed to be a store of value. So why, like, that's like my gold coin. Yeah, I could convert this into cash, but why would I convert an asset that's going to appreciate faster than the rate of inflation when I can just earn more currency and spend currency? Like my investments, I don't want to sell them and spend them like cash. Like even XRP, like if I'm buying XRP, why the fuck would I want to pay a bill with my XRP? Like I'm gonna pay $1,000 bill and spend $1,000 of my asset when that same asset can go up by 10x or 5x. That's just stupid. So when I hear people say like, oh, well, you can't use Bitcoin as a currency. Number one, that's not true, because you can spend in tons of places. There's a ton of different on-ramps where you can convert your crypto to actual stable coins and buy stuff. So that's just not true. But second of all, why would I want to spend a valuable asset? That's like, why would I sell my stocks to pay bills? Why would I want to sell an asset? So Bitcoin doesn't have to make sense to you. That's okay. You just missing out on a wealth transfer. And it's nothing wrong with missing out on wealth transfers, because you will eventually buy Bitcoin, right? You'll just buy that, let's say, 500,000 or 300,000, where I've been in it since it was sub $100, right? It's just up to you, right? And so like, I always tell people, you will buy at some point. You'll probably eventually buy from me when I'm ready to sell, and that's okay. Because remember, we need liquidity. So you can buy at $500,000. See, it doesn't have to make sense to you. It makes sense to BlackRock. It makes sense to, Galaxy Digital. It makes sense to a lot of pension funds. It makes sense to world governments. So whether or not it makes sense to you doesn't matter, right? It matters that it makes sense to people that have the money and the resources that's going to come and put money somewhere. See, you don't have to like something to make money from it. You don't have to understand something to make money from it. You just need to make sure you make that motherfucking money. See, the problem with so many people is that they want to somehow pretend that they're smart and they know something about Bitcoin and energy because they've been wrong about it for over a decade. And that's your own ego. If your own ego is blocking you, then that's okay. Because you want to be right. I want to make money. I'm here to make money, not be right. So you don't have to understand it. It doesn't have to make sense to you. If you think that Bitcoin is like an NFT, that's great. Cool. I'm not here to convince you. Bitcoin's just the best performing asset of all time. No asset has performed better than Bitcoin. None. BlackRock tends to think differently. Mm-hmm. Somebody says, that man has a gang of followers on Instagram. If everybody gave him $1, his troubles are over. First of all, that's just not realistic. That's not even, first of all, we have to stop thinking that people need to give us money. No, you need to provide a service to people to give you money. You need to be attractive in the marketplace for people to say, I want to give Umar Johnson $1. I want to give that man $10. I want to give that man $100. See, when I'm selling my credit repair service to you, I'm providing you a service that can benefit you. So therefore, when you exchange that $200, that $300, that $500 with me, you're getting something in return. See, that's why it's called currency. It's supposed to flow back and forth. And it's supposed to flow to places and for services and products and goods that I deem fit for me, that I think are necessary. But see, we tend to think like, oh man, just get $1 from everyone. Get $1 for what? What is Umar Johnson providing to people for them to give him $1? This is why I said before, besides running your mouth, what services are you giving to people? See, if I fix your credit and I remove the bankruptcy, the collection, the charge off, the late payment, you now could go refinance that house. You now could go get a lower interest rate on that loan. You now could go get financing for the project that you want to get into. See, that's tangible. That's something that can actually help you and benefit you. It's something you can go do something with. So therefore, you'll pay for that. What the fuck am I going to send Umar Johnson $1 for? So what, he could sit up here and talk about being a strong alpha male in a filthy house? So he could take my $1 and go be with a throat goat? Come on, it's pointless. It makes no sense to give people money like that for no reason if they're not doing anything with it. See, we've gotten to the point where we require more from people if they're actually going to, want things from us. Skywater Technology says, Warren Buffett said the number one rule is to not lose money. What do you say to that? Yeah, of course, that's always the number one rule. But guess what? You will always lose money. I don't care. See, Warren Buffett to me is an anomaly. He is a guy that happened to get into the stock market at a very, see, if you're a boomer or older than that, you've had the benefit of getting into these assets like real estate, the stock market, et cetera, and experiencing massive price of inflation because of the Fed and the monetary policy, right? So a lot of these people are just products and functions of timing. And then now, because they sit so close to the money printer and they buy influence, because once you're wealthy, it's very easy to build more wealth because you're connected to everything. You're literally sitting at the money printer. Because think about this for a second. Like if I'm investing in a bank, then I know if I'm one of the largest investors in a bank, like let's say like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan Chase, like people like Warren Buffett, and I own insurance companies, I have my fingerprint on the heart pulse and heartbeat of the economy. the pulse of the economy. I know when things are about to tank, when things are about to crash, when money's about to flow, right? I'm connected with politicians. I know when they're going to start cutting interest rates, what legislation is going to get passed. So I don't look at Warren Buffett as a person who I can emulate, because I'm not a 70, 80-year-old white guy that happened to be born back in the 30s or 20s or 40s and be able to take advantage of all of the booms and have those connections. See, we look at people like Warren Buffett as if he's someone to emulate, not understanding that it's called personal finance for a reason. He had opportunities and advantages that you and I don't have. And also, just like Warren Buffett has gotten a lot wrong, all right, he's gotten a lot wrong as well. He was wrong about technology. He was wrong about artificial intelligence. He was wrong about Bitcoin and crypto. So when I look at people, yes, I could take things from individuals, but understand that in business, it's almost impossible for you not to lose money. In investing, you're going to lose money, but it's a lesson that you're learning. And if you spread yourself properly, you'll build wealth over time. I don't believe in concentration. No, I believe that you should concentrate on 2 or 3 things, right? Get good at one of them and then go all in on it once you get good at one of those 3 things. But you definitely have to test the waters, because guess what? I've been an entrepreneur now for over 2 decades. You know how many businesses I've tried and I failed at, but then it was like something I learned along the way that got me into the next business opportunity, that then took the skills from this opportunity, was able to flip it into something else. That's how it goes, right? You go from a standpoint of you try some things, you kind of get some skills, and you keep building on those skill sets and stacking as you go. But thanks for the super chat. Brandon Humble says, could you see Umar Johnson tapping out, selling the building, and becoming a full-time speaker? Or is this, I think this is his rock bottom. I don't think that Umar Johnson gets out of this because he's dragged this on too long. The time to do that was over like a year and a half ago. But his ego would not allow him to walk away from this and just say he failed. And I think that now his substance abuse and his sexual deviant behavior is now catching up to him in the abuse of women. And I think that there's going to be a lot of women that will start coming forward with stories about him and his behavior that will get him jammed up. I think that Umar Johnson is too far gone. And I think that his ego won't allow him to say, I'm sorry, I messed up. Because Black people, we're very forgiving. And we understand shit happens. You know, like, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Things are going to happen. I'm going to have my moments where I'm going to get exposed and things. It's life. It's how you handle things when they happen. And Umar Johnson just handles things absolutely horribly because of his ego, and also because when you don't have other men around you or peers around you to hold you accountable and rein you in, you tend to go off the rails because no one can approach you. And when you have a bunch of yes men around you, this is how you end up turning out. So, but thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. So I don't think this is rock bottom. I think he probably goes lower from here. Right. So, yeah, the IRS probably will take those buildings as well too. That's very, very, very possible. So, but with that being said, guys, we came up on 2 hours. I'm gonna wrap this up here. Please do me a favor, like this video, share this video, subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell and that you set it to all. If your credit begins with a 4, 5, or 6, we have credit repair services that can assist you with fixing and repairing and building your credit. If you are a business owner in need of business funding, I've helped multiple people get anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 in business funding. We have a promo going on right now for the next 50 people. We are taking 50% off. The link is in the bio, and we have a payment plan where you only got to pay $62 as of today. And also you can text the word credit to the number in the description below. Here's a testimonial as I close up.
Hey, I wanted to take a second to give a huge shout out to Eli. Signed my mom up for credit repair with him because we had tried 3 or 4 other people. We've been working for over 2 years to try to get a couple of collections removed from her credit report, and literally no one was able to help us. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this and just kept getting no results. I found Eli, happened to run across his page on Instagram and reached out to him, signed up. It's been less than 30 days and both of those collections are off of her credit report. So I just want to again say thank you so much. And I definitely would highly recommend him and his team if you're looking for someone who can actually get the job done.
I've been working with Eli on my credit repair for the last couple months, and in just 2 weeks, he was able to get all the negative items deleted off of my Experian credit report. As you can see here, the negative items have all been deleted. So if you are in need of credit repair, I highly recommend Eli's services.
Hey guys, I started working with Eli probably about a month ago, and we started working on credit repair. I got all my documents done with Eli, went through that whole process, and then within 8 days, we got 16 accounts deleted from our report, which ultimately got me a 88 point increase on my credit profile. So I am excited to see what's going to happen within the next 30 days, next 60 and 90 days, as we continue to build this profile and, going for different things within funding.
Okay, just a quick update of my credit repair process with Eli. I logged into my app yesterday and saw that a few negative items had been deleted. Also, my TransUnion had jumped up 77 points. Like I said, we had just submitted documents last Tuesday. So it is now the following Wednesday. Take advantage. Take advantage.
Good morning, y'all. I gotta give a shout out to my man, Eli. That's my dog. He got an OD right now. We going for so much funding right now. I ain't want to worry about a thing. You need credit. I didn't need credit repair. I needed funding. But to get funding, you got to get your credit score very high. Holla at my man Eli. I'm telling you,